This call is being recorded.
Call. I just wanted to go ahead and get this call started. We've got a lot of people jumping on the call, so you're going to probably continue to hear some dings for a few minutes, but I just wanted to get this call started. We are in an exciting time here in OneCoin. You couldn't have joined at a better time. OneCoin is absolutely moving forward. We are taking the cryptocurrency world by storm, and we have some exciting and huge announcements today. So you're going to want to stay on the call, but make sure you get out a pen and paper or something that you can take notes on, because you want to make sure you jot it down and get the information straight. I want to go ahead and turn the call over to our fearless leader out in California, Mr. Kevin. Kevin, are you there today?
I sure am, Brian. Thanks for doing intros. Appreciate having you on the call, and glad to have you back working with us on these calls, man. It's good to hear your voice again. Thank you.
Thank you, Kevin. Take it away.
Awesome. Well, hey, everybody. It's Monday morning, fresh week, new start. I've been on a couple calls this morning, just blowing things up. People are getting motivated, fired up. Jason Mangin just completely killed Tory Bailey's call this morning. If you guys aren't plugged into Tory Bailey's call, I highly recommend you start your morning off right and find out about that call and get involved. Our 90-day Blitz call is going amazing. Just a lot of great things happening out there. Dr. Breakthrough's calls getting a lot of attention out there. Just all kinds of amazing things happening. Seeing our difficulty rate at 57 points today. I'm still absolutely flabbergasted that we haven't seen a price increase yet. But in the same token, I'm still extremely thankful that we haven't, for all those people that are able to get in now and experience what we've been experiencing over the last 14 months or 10 months or 12 months or 8 months or however long you've been involved. It's just been the biggest blessing to see the growth and change in people's lives in so many different areas. Guys, I don't even know if I can put justice to what Bob says anymore about it's bigger than you know and it's better than you think. It's beyond that for me. Just all the great quality people that are coming on board and getting to experience a culture of freedom, as I've liked to kind of coin that phrase over the last 14 months, but it's just phenomenal. We've got a really strong coin value. We've got a strong membership base. We're heading in a direction to free the entire world potentially of all these banking fees, able to provide solutions to people on a global level that they've just never experienced before, and you're all a part of that. So let's let Bob get into all the details of the new announcements, and I just look forward to what we can educate each and every one of you that took the time to be on this call today. So, Bob, if you would take over, please bless us again today, sir.
Hey, thanks, Kevin. Thanks, Brian. Appreciate you guys being on the call. It is a busy Monday. We're getting into the middle of May now, and for all of you mothers on this call, happy Mother's Day belated. I'm sure you had a blessed day yesterday, and thank you so much for being part of our OneCoin family here. I wish I could have reached out to all of you and wished you a happy Mother's Day, so we're doing that now. Just so you guys know, right now on this call, there's over 1,000 people on this call right now. That's come a long way since I think our first public call had about 13 on it about a year ago, 14 months ago, whatever that was. But that's huge. I know that we've put text messages out. Now everybody's working together to get their teams on this call to get information. And just like Kevin said, guys, it's bigger than you know and it's better than you think. We've been saying that all along, and it's without exception. Because the reason I even say that, it's not a hypey cliche phrase. What's happened since day one that we started, it got bigger and better and bigger and better. And a lot of times, some reality sets in at some point and you go, oh, well, I thought it was this, but it's that. This has exceeded our expectations on every level and every week that we've been doing that for, what is that, about 65 consecutive weeks now, or whatever it's been since day one when Sal and Maurice were meeting Dr. Ruja Ignatova in Thailand. From that point on, it's been unbelievable, and this week is without exception on that, and we'll get to those in a moment. I do want to say this because we have a lot of people on this call. You've heard from your team leaders and from groups and what have you about this call. I want to urge you guys, because whether you see yourself as a leader or you don't, you want to get on the DigiCoin Pro site and text messages. That's how we are going to communicate with the field. Unfortunately, I don't have a database of 30,000 people that are on our team now. Neither does Sal or Maurice. So we reach out to our team leaders and we depend upon you to get the information out. But we've developed a system so we can get that out to as many people as we can and the team leaders. And it is training.digicoinpro.com. So I know that there's probably hundreds on this call that are not subscribed to that, and it's a free service. But the reason that we put that together is so we can communicate with the field, because you guys have the responsibility, because it's your business, to get plugged in. A lot of times people feel in this industry that, well, it's my upline's responsibility to, keep me informed. Well, that's not true. It's your business. Take responsibility for your business and get plugged in. So you want to go to training.digi, D-I-G-I, coinpro.com. Training.digicoinpro.com. You can sign up for free, or there's a marketing aspect that's off the chain for, I think it's still $99 a year. That's supposed to go up this week, I think, to $199. So you might want to enhance your business and sign up for that as well. I'm just letting you know if you're need help with the marketing side of things. That is definitely, Maurice worked on that for 5 months at least, and they're still working on it, training people. But training.digicoinpro.com. Get plugged in, get the emails, get the texts, and get your teams plugged into that as well, because that's where a lot of the information for the U.S. and for our team are going to go into that. Yes, we're going to get that on these calls, but we're limited as far as, we want people to get on these calls. We want people to get the information. We want you to build your business. We want you to be successful. So make sure that you're on that. Enough said with that, but I know we've got a lot of new people on our team, a lot of new people on these calls. Training.digicoinpro.com, and sign up for that. Plus, that's where you're going to get your global cash card comes from that. You're going to go to the withdrawal request and apply for that, get that going. That's going to be essential as we go forward. So those things being said, good. So I know you're not hearing all the dings. We shut those off. There's been several people complaining. I kind of liked it because I like to hear, a couple hundred people coming on the call afterwards, but we've managed that. So for those of you that have been after me for months to do that, we've taken care of that for you. I think you've noticed the last couple of weeks that we've done that for you guys, so you don't have to listen to my voice over all the people calling in. So let's get right into it here. Guys, monumental things have happened. And I know that a lot of things that we've talked about, they sound real hypey to you, and this call might sound hypey to you now, but it's not. It is genuine excitement about a product, which is a cryptocurrency, specifically OneCoin, that is penetrating the market on a global basis and becoming a currency. I've said this in a bunch of our meetings all over the country. What we are experiencing is the birth of a currency. Now, none of us have ever experienced that before, kind of like the birth of the internet. I mean, we were there for that. And most of us did not participate in the expansion of that or educating the rest of the world on that. However, here we have the opportunity to do that on something bigger than the internet. And some of you might not believe that or not, but you will, because the blockchain technology alone is bigger than the internet, is what they're saying. That's what the experts are saying. But we're going further, and we're talking about the number one product on the planet is money, and that's arguable. Some people say it's food and water and different things. I get that, but everybody that has money wants more of it, and those that don't, they need it. So I have a friend here up in Idaho, Greg, that he was saying that even just the Forex currency market is like a $5 trillion a day market, which makes our stock market look like kindergarten. So we are in a very huge market, and we don't even know how big that is yet. So all of that to say, guys, let's go ahead with the announcements of what's going on here. Now, let me put it this. I'm looking at this at my notes going, oh my goodness. I had so many thoughts this morning. I was talking to Sal, but let me start small and work up to things. Okay? And right now in Macau, China, they've made several of these announcements, and you guys are getting them firsthand to our team. So this is happening as we speak. Actually, it happened earlier today in Macau because it's the other side of the planet, and they're having their meetings now there. But let's go with number one. Check this out. China Union Pay Card is approved for OneCoin to be part of that system. Now, that might not sound like a big deal. Okay, so what? Visa, PayPal, all those kind of things. Here's where it's different. The Chinese government is communist. Nothing happens in business in China without the Chinese government's approval. In other words, what's happened is, and you remember if you were on these calls months ago, I think it was back in, I was in Sweden in November, so I think it was in December, mid-December, we heard about Russia having high-level meetings with Beijing in December, mid-December. Well, all of that has come forth, and they've basically vetted OneCoin as a business for the past 4 months, because they're not just going to say, okay, that sounds like a good idea, let's do that. What they've done is they've looked at us. The Chinese government has looked at us and said, you're a legitimate business model, and here's what we want to do. So basically, OneCoin has been approved with the Chinese government to be part of the China Union Pay system. That's big because that's like the PayPal of China. And we don't understand in our country because, okay, you can have PayPal or Visa or MasterCard. They don't have those luxuries there. China Union Pay is it. So today, in Macau, China, they passed out 5,000 OneCoin cards that were backed by China Union Pay. They're behind the whole thing. That's crazy cool. That in itself is big. They can transfer money from their OneCoin account to their China Union Pay. That's big. You think, well, how does that affect us in the U.S.? Well, what it does is it adds credibility to what we're doing here in the U.S. because not only, we've heard about, Finland and Sweden and Thailand and Vietnam, where they've actually vetted our company and our concept and said it's a legitimate system. But we're looking at a country that has billions of people. They've looked at what we have, and now we're part of that China Union Pay system. Guys, I really don't think that I grasp the enormity of that, nor do I expect you, but at least we'll take a step or two in that direction and go, hey, this is big, because it is. So what we're looking at is the beginning stages of currency transactions happening in China legally. That's big, because we over here in the States we're like, well, is it, can I, blah, 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 Believe me, China's way ahead of the game. right now. And for that to happen, that's big for all of us. There was rumors back when about, OneCoin leaders are arrested and all that. That was a bunch of bunk put out there by bunk blockers that hate OneCoin, but they're about to shut their mouths because of what we've done and where we're going. No wonder they don't put their names on their blogs, because when they end up with egg on their face, they can shut down their bogus websites, but they don't want to have their name attached to it because their next bogus website will have their name. So that's what you're seeing. You're seeing all of their junk being debunked, so it's been tested and true. So that's announcement number one. Pretty big stuff. If you don't get the enormity of it, let it sink in for a little bit on what that is. Basically, you got Beijing backing up what OneCoin is doing. That's in a nutshell. So let's move on to the next announcement, shall we? Publisher of Financial IT Magazine. You see the magazines. They are being circulated now. A lot of you have got those. Just so you know, a lot of people jumped on to get their free magazine. I don't know. Basically, all those magazines went over to Bulgaria, and then they had to be distributed. And I think a very difficult distribution network to go to individual addresses here in the U.S. So if you haven't got those, I'm sorry, but the best thing to do is to go to financialit.net and order those. But here's what's going on. The publisher of Financial IT Magazine just did a 4-minute video and interview. I don't know if it's an interview, but it's a 4-minute video talking about why he chose Dr. Ruja as a participant in Financial IT Magazine. Now, this is a third-party publication, and they have no interest in OneCoin. They have no accounts with OneCoin. They just sought Ruja because it's the same thing as you've known all along. Once somebody meets Ruja, game over. That's what happened with Salah Maurice. That's what happened with me. That's what happened with the editor of Financial IT Magazine. That's what happened with Ed Ludbrook, who is a network icon. That's what happened with so many of us, but that's what happened here. So he's going to talk about why they did the Financial IT Magazine, why that came out, why they did the interview with Ruja and all those kind of things. That should be available, I'm going to say later today. Let's give it, they're just doing final edits on that, but you will, through training.digicoinpro, I'm sure they'll be doing that. They'll also, the texting system, I'm sure it's going to go out through there. You're all going to get that information, so make sure that you're plugged into that. But that's a big deal, guys, because everybody wants to say, oh, it's a fake, or they paid for it, or all this kind of stuff, and none of that is true. This is totally third party. I've heard that they're going to do follow-up interviews in some of their future editions, but right now, guys, it's just an amazing thing that's going on there with Financial IT. Now, should we move on to the next? As if there's not enough here. Okay, we all heard, we talked about, hey, something's going to happen as far as the merchants, the e-commerce platform. Something's going to happen at 30%. Well, I think we're at 31 or 32%, and that's one of the reasons that they had the event in Macau is so they can make announcements. Now, let me just say this. I'm going to put this in front of this. If this announcement is happening now, I can only imagine what's going to happen a month from now when we are in London, England, because if I were them with this big announcement, I would have held off and announced this in London, which tells me there's something coming in London because that is a company-sponsored event. Macau was actually a regional event where they had 9,000 or 10,000 people. So London is coming, and there's more to come. However, let's talk about today and what was announced in Macau. We heard that at 30% they were going to roll out the merchant platform. Well, here's one of the things. Ruja has delivered again. And to me, it boggles my mind how they make an announcement and come through with this every time. And that's what this part is, this piece that we have right here, is she has followed through. I don't even worry about it anymore. At first when you're getting to know a company, you go, well, everybody says, hey, we got this great thing coming, and then, here's the date, and the date comes and goes and nothing happens, and, we're working on it. Oh, we're running into problems 6 months later. No, she has hit these deadlines every time, and it's so Ruja to do this. But here's what's going on, guys, and that is your OneCoin is now transferable. What does that mean? That means that I can take my OneCoin and transfer it to anybody in the OneCoin network, 1.85 million people, and do transactions with that. Let that sink in for a second, because when we were on a webinar, I want to say 3 or 4 weeks ago, Ruja said this element was coming, and I missed it. I'm going, oh, okay, that sounds cool. So we can transfer OneCoin back and forth to each other. Great. But here's what I missed. That is exactly what launched Bitcoin as being a currency. It was an internal exchange from one guy to the next, and if you want to check this, it's May 22nd, 2010, where a guy said, I will give you 10,000 Bitcoin. Big mistake, $4.5 million today. I will give you Bitcoin, 10,000 for a pizza. Value at the time was about $25. Currently today, 4.5 million. But that's what started it, where people, all of a sudden the light bulb went on and said, hey, you can do that? Make transactions outside of the banking system, outside of governments? That sounds like a novel concept. I think we ought to run with that one. And the rest is history. And it gained popularity. It gained value to what it is today. So what's being announced right now, not just announced, what's happening right now is you can go into your back office and transfer OneCoin to anybody in the organization. So that being the case, think about the possibilities of that. If Bitcoin, if you could, and I'm going slow here, guys, because I want this to sink in, because it didn't with me when I first heard Ruja on that webinar. I thought, oh, that's cool, that's big. But when I thought about it later, as we've talked about it in the last few days, I'm going, this is so big. This is the beginning of this being a currency, because that was the beginning of Bitcoin being the currency. But prior to that transaction, it was not a currency. Now we can do that. Does that sound big? So if my buddy Jason in Tennessee said, hey, Bob, I have this silver, and I'll take out of OneCoins for this pile of silver, would you be willing to do that? I'd be saying, sure, man. And I could transfer those over to him. He can hand me the silver, and a currency transaction was just executed. Okay, that's just one example. Make it a car, a bicycle, a million different things. So let me just tell you, we tested the system this morning, and my upline transferred me OneCoin and said, hey, Bob, go and have a Starbucks coffee on me. And I went, dang, man. So I can, we're at the beginning stages. I want you guys to understand. But here's what we've said all along, and I want you to get this, is this is not about buying low and selling high and putting it on a Visa card and go spending it at a store. That's not what this is about. This is about it becoming a currency direct. So this is the first step in that happening. I want you to understand how big this really is, because it really is big. So it's now transferable. Now, we can send and receive OneCoin right now, today. It's already in effect. So this is the beginning stages of that trading platform that we've talked about. The member-to-member features makes that currency. There's a reason that there was a group of professors from MIT, they bought over $1 million in OneCoin packages. These are pretty smart guys, and they've done their research and their homework and going, wow, this is going to work. If they put over $1 million in, I'm telling you, they've got something going on. There was a whole group of them that came together and did that. So today, OneCoin became a currency. Now check this out. You want to hear something else that's cool? Check this out. Okay, we're talking about 1.85 million people that we can trade with now. Okay? Everybody listening? We can do that now today outside of that 1.5 million as well. And hear people out there, woohoo, how's that, Bob? Tell us. Here's how. Right now, there's 1.85 million that have purchased packages that we can transfer OneCoin to. Now, check this out. It happens also with people that have pending positions. So we can transfer that to pending positions. Therefore, if anybody on the planet takes a pending position, you can transfer OneCoin to them as well, and it works. So that means anyone that's on the planet that has access to getting a free account can also receive OneCoin from you. Still here. I'm just letting it sink in because I'm doing that the same with me. A lot of you are hearing this for the first time, and you've heard it here. So people inside the network and people outside the network. So the currency has started. All the things we've been talking about the birth of a currency for the last several months has now take place today. There's a lot more coming. I'm not saying this is it. This is that's why I say it's bigger than you know, better than you think. Not because of today's announcement, but because it continues to get better, and there's going to be more announcements in the next month. But at least you guys are getting a taste of what's going on here. So this is the first phase of that merchant platform. And check this out. Who is the supply of the coin for that merchant platform? It's you, the miners. That's who. If you watch that video by Ed Ludbrook, it's got to be purchased through the miners. It's going to come from you. That's why I always said get as many coin as you can, as fast as you can, and then help others to do the same, because this is now currency. So, we can continue to get currency as well through mining or purchasing coins from others. But right now, it's going to become increasingly more valuable because now it's a currency that you can trade with. Okay, so in all of these things, there's 3 steps that always happen. First step is that you become criticized for what you're doing. Something new in the marketplace comes. Criticism comes first. And if you've been around, you've probably heard a little of that. Then opposition comes forth. And then after that, it becomes self-evident that what's happening here is happening here. And that's where the stage we're at right now. We have just proven to the world that we are self-evident. This is happening. It's not just talk. It's happening. And you guys are part of the biggest movement. We're not talking about MLM or networking. You're part of the biggest movement that's ever been. And that's been proven in business already by the numbers that we've been doing already. However, it continues to go forward in the way that they've talked about and executed perfectly all along the way with almost 2 million people now. Now, what do you think that's going to do to our numbers from now until the end of the year? It's going to explode globally. So we have a choice now. And here's what I was telling our people. I'm still up in Coeur d'Alene, Idaho, and you guys did a great job, Fred, putting that together, Gary. It was great to see you, Matt and Greg, and all you guys up here. But what I told everybody is in 6 months from now, you won't even recognize the company because of all the things that have gone on as far as what Rouge's put together, what Ed's put together, what Paul Smith's put together, and I'm talking about on a global basis as far as the company is concerned. So we are going to be in a momentum phase for the next 6 months, and it's going to be totally different 6 months from now. But mark my words, that point to this point next year are going to be massive global momentum. You want to be part of that. You want to be part of it all along the way, but it starts right now. You've got to be able to articulate what's going on here, and you have to be able to push people to the tools that are in place, because we are not qualified. I'm not qualified to talk to anybody and try to sell them on the idea of cryptocurrency and OneCoin. That's why I point people to the tools. You guys know that. I've said that all along. Send them to a 3-minute call. Put them three-way with your upline support. Then have them look at a video like the future of payments. Then you can talk about on the basis of answering their questions and following up from there and letting them know, what you know, and if you need to, hook them up with your upline support system, even again, when they have honest, legitimate questions. So just to recap real quick, guys, and I know some of you are taking notes and some of you are, driving in your car or whatever, but China UnionPay is now in effect and in business with OneCoin. That's huge. Secondly, the publisher of Financial IT is going to release a video here in the next day or so. Be watching for that. Be part of training.digicoinpro.com, so you make sure you get that, because you want to share that with your people. It's going to add huge credibility. And then the rollout of the merchant platform, which is OneCoin, is now transferable within and without the network, the OneCoin network. Huge, huge news, guys. I can't tell you how thrilled I am that we are all a part of this. It's bigger than you know. It's better than you think. And check this out. If you think this is it, you're mistaken. It's going to get bigger and better. Coming up soon, I know we have a lot of events happening around the country. I'm sorry, I'm not going to announce all those. I don't have the notes in front of me, guys. However, a London event, June, I say 10th and 11th. The actual event's on the 11th, but you want to meet up with as many people as you can on the 10th and get to know some of these remarkable people on the 10th, which is a Friday. I think we have, at this point, we have about 40 people from the U.S., give or take, coming from the States. That doesn't sound like a lot, but it's a lot. It's time, it's expense, there's all kinds of things. It will explode your business. So, guys, I'm not going to belabor this call. I appreciate you guys taking time out of your busy schedules to be part of this. It is massive what's happening. We are going to go into momentum right now. Those of you, take the bull by the horns. All along the way, guys, I've said this. Let's have fun. Let's work hard, and let's win big. But this is a team effort. This isn't just, Bob going out there and, lighting the world on fire. It's not about Kevin. It's all of us taking our different gifts and talents and skills and abilities and putting that together. We can go as one unit in one direction. And, guys, you got massive tools now and support, and we're ready to go. If you guys are ready to get to work and run with us, we'd love for that to happen, and you're proving that by being on this call right now. So we'll look forward to working with you this week. Let's make things happen together. Support your teams, guys. Make this happen in a big way. This is not hype. This is what's going on, and you're part of the biggest movement that's ever been in this industry and any industry, and you guys can be proud that you're part of it. So, guys, thank you so much for being on the call. God bless you guys. Have a great week. We'll meet you on Thursday. We're going to go over some new things that are happening and some new updates and information, so make sure you're on this call on Thursday as well. We love you guys. Continue to prosper, and we will have a very blessed week. Thank you, everybody. Have a great day.